Hi friends, the Martin Center is back and we continue with our series of short interviews. Today's guest is Claudia Selli, Vice President for European Union Government Affairs and Head of Brussels office of AT&T. Claudia, thank you for joining us. We'll be discussing 5G and cybersecurity, what's at stake for the EU and the US. So let's jump right into it. Claudia, 5G has been a buzzword in Brussels for a long time now, but maybe first you can brief us what's happening in the US when it comes to 5G deployment and infrastructure development.
Absolutely, and thank you very much for the question, and thank you for hosting me here. I think today we are at the doorstep of yet another opportunity for communication technology to really change the way we live and work. And the countries that are incubating and facilitating that innovation, they will really be leading the way. And the progress, in the digital age will really depend also on the availability of 5G, because 5G offer a variety of solutions in the different sectors. And also, I think that the really success in the digital age will also depend from the collaboration between government and as well as the private sector in order to create laws and regulation that will facilitate and create a 5G environment which can operate in a fast way, in reliable way, and secure way. So this is really essential. And I think at AT&T, we're really trying to and committed to creating this 5G-enabled future, and really to push the innovation that will help our customer also benefit from better services and solutions. And from 2017, for example, till 2021, we invested more than 135 billion in the wireless and wireline network, including also capital investment as well as spectrum acquisition. And in 2018, also at AT&T, we basically provided the first 5G mobile services, which also helped us observe how the 5G environment is basically working and operating, and allowed us to offer better services. And I think in that respect, all these investments are also helping the US lead the way on 5G, and this will be essential also for the future, both for industries but also for customers.
And when we look at the EU when it comes to 5G, we see certain bottlenecks in the rollout of this technology. Very quickly, what do you think? What are the main bottlenecks? What's the main problem for the EU, and how can we, move forward on 5G?
Right. So I think that certainly in Europe and in member states, the infrastructure is being laid out, probably at a bit slower pace, because first of all, I think that there's been the COVID-19 pandemic that has slowed things down. But also there are some security concerns that Europe has been trying to address. And I think, of course, security is one of the primary concerns when you talk about 5G, when you plan the mapping and the developing of 5G technology. So this is really being addressed and probably has slowed down a little bit the development.
Exactly. I think when it comes to hardware and software security, we see that there's some risk potentially involved. Maybe you can share a couple of words on cybersecurity and AT&T's track record when it comes to tackling these risks and leading the way in anticipating these challenges.
Thank you so much for the question. So first of all, I think that the 5G architecture offers both vulnerability and benefits when it comes to security. And 5G security still lacks a definition because it's really a new technology that's being developed. But as I was saying before, 5G security is really the primary concern when you talk about 5G deployment. And I think this is essential to be addressed also, because with 5G and with millions and billions of connected devices, it can enable basically larger and more dangerous attack, and basically you can have more sophisticated botnets, for example, or privacy violation, or faster data gathering. And so this is really important that it's addressed. And so in terms of how this security can also, how government can be on top of that security, I think that there are different ways. First of all, you can promote and encourage the implementation of the so-called Prague proposals, where basically they call for an open architecture, reliable, stable, and resilient, and also they can benefit from best practices from the industry. Then the second thing I would suggest is also by encouraging, the adoption of Open RAN, which is the Open Radio Network Architecture, which basically is based off a technology which is open, interoperable, as well as disaggregated technology. And so we think also that security can be better addressed. And finally, also I think government, if the spur funds in research and development to help deployment of an open architecture in 5G is really important and needs to be taken into account. As far as AT&T is concerned, we are the owner of one of the largest network in North America, and so certainly security is top of mind, and it's unprecedented in the sense that it's really important for us. And we not only have certainly network expertise, cybersecurity expertise, but we also collaborate with very good and the best provider, I would say, to offer the services to our customer. And so from one end, we offer high-level security managed services to our business customer, and on the other end, we have the AT&T ARM Core, which is basically a way to protect our consumers at home, on the go, but also at work. And certainly we offer, cybersecurity consulting services. We have endpoint security. We also, as I was saying, we collaborate with the best provider in this respect to help our clients be much more resilient in what they do and in all their services. And I think also, AT&T services have been, and security has been high ranked. And I think that the reason why we are also high ranked is because we help our customers be more resilient, and we help them address the digital transformation, which is essential.
Talking about the security architecture, talking about 5G deployment, infrastructure deployment, all of these topics are part of the ambitious list between the EU and the US in the recently founded Trade and Technology Council, TTC, and we saw recently its second installment in Paris, this transatlantic forum for cooperation on trade and technology. Now, what do you think has been the track record so far of TTC, and are you optimistic about transatlantic cooperation on these, cutting-edge issues?
This is a very important question, and I think that like-minded countries such as the EU and US are needed to collaborate together in order to create, framework that are consistent. And I think companies like ours certainly appreciate consistency of policy frameworks, but also consumer can benefit from that because, also the services that are offered and all the threats are better addressed. And I think that the collaboration is essential, particularly now at a moment where, cyber threats can also increase, and so common and joint effort are essential. You mentioned a great example, which is the Trade and Technology Council. They had just a second meeting in Paris, and I think it was very successful. And I think that already creating the structure, the fact that the two countries can have their counterpart to talk, I think that this has deepened a lot relationship apart from other events that are also bringing, the two countries closer together. At the same time, I would also commend and congratulate the EU and US for reaching back in March the agreement in principles on the cross-border data flow. This shows as well the commitment from the two sides to solve the problem, which is critical for the industry, which is critical for the consumer and for the economy. Because once we will have this agreement also implemented in practice, I think it will give much more security for the industry, because they will know how they can operate and flow the data across the Atlantic. And this is essential for the economy and for people to be able and use and rely on good services as well.
Thank you very much, Claudia. Dear viewers, this was the voice of Claudia Selli, Vice President for European Union Government Affairs and Head of Brussels Office, AT&T. Thank you for your insights. Dear viewers, thanks for tuning in, and follow us for more content from the Martens Center stand and the EPP Congress in Rotterdam.